Everybody can join. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So we are at chapter 9, verse 3, but just to kind of summarize the first two verses. Here in this chapter 9, Krishna Bhagwan is revealing his nature. And like Nikhilananji was saying, there are three factors. And he said, Jiva, Jagat and Jagadishwar. So starting with, I thought that was a good thing. And so all three are covered here. In most of the philosophies, that's what they talk about. Who am I? What is the world? Who is God? What is the relationship? So what Vedanta is telling us ultimately, that all these three are one, not different. They appear different to us, obviously. That's the experience we feel with our senses. But ultimately, we have to realize the oneness. And then gave the famous example of the ocean. Ocean has waves and small wave, big, everything looks different. And the ocean itself, all three look different, but then they are all water. So they are here. So that's what it is, huh? So similarly, the three things, Jeev, Jagat and Jagadishwar, are one supreme reality. So this is what he says. But before he wanted to give this knowledge, he wanted to excite Arjuna, get him ready for the knowledge. So that's what he does in the first two verses. Hari Om Aye. Oh, ek wo chair leni padegi. मैं ले लूँ? So Bhagwan says, and then we saw that in the previous verse, Bhagwan said that this great knowledge is, he called it the royal knowledge, royal secret, Raj Vidya Raj Guhya, extremely pure, purest of all, he said, Pavitram, and very righteous, extremely righteous, dharmyam, he said, and easy to perform, sukham, all those words were there, and imperishable. So, and it's available for direct experience. It's not like some kind of a bookish knowledge. You can experience it, that's what he said. So he's saying that he's talked about this knowledge before, and he's saying now listen to it again. So that's what the background of the first two verses were. Now we go to verse number 3. So since we are in person, why don't we do lead follow? I will say it and then you guys say it. थोड़ा तो फायदा हो, right? आने का. Okay. अश्रद्धधाना पुरुषाः अश्रद्धधाना पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि अश्रद्धधानाः without faith. So हमको सबको पता है word श्रद्धा. So people who don't have shraddha in this. Purushaha, men means human beings. Dharmasya. यहाँ पर duty बोला है, but we know that at the core of it, what it meant, we have discussed it and we'll discuss it more. Asya is of this. Parantapa, the word has come before. It's another name for Arjuna, scorcher of foes. मतलब उसको बोल रहे तू सब कुछ कर सकता है. Like that, encouraging him. Aprapya, without attaining. So these people without attaining, me, without attaining me means actually without attaining that knowledge, it's the same thing. Nivartante, they return. And we have seen this in detail in the previous chapter, that what is returning in the world means versus going ascending order. So they return. Mrityu sansara vartmani. In the path of this world, means ये जो वापस आने वाला path है, world of death. हम लोग को मृत्यु लोक बोलते हैं ना इसको. आना जाना चालू रहता है यहाँ पे. That's what it means. So we'll go more in detail about everything. So he's calling Arjuna Parantapa. People who don't have faith in the knowledge. Means what they don't accept this. There are so many people in the world who are like that, and they don't have neither faith in the goal also. Hey, what is the goal of life? A lot of people think, just get a job, have family, that's it. So goal may be faith nahi hai, path may be faith nahi hai, they think it's all wrong. Khao piyo maja karo type of thing, There are a lot of people. So they lack faith. And then, faith is, we have discussed, and when Swamiji's commentary comes, we will see what faith means. Not blind faith or anything like that, or what exactly faith means, we will see in more detail also. But what Nikhilanandji was saying, it's like a trust and acceptance of something. That's faith. With your intellect, you accept it and trust. And that it is true. Abhi maine dekha nahi hai ye, experience nahi kiya, lekin sach hai ye. Like that, that's called trust. So he was just saying that how do we understand this in the worldly sense? He says, suppose if somebody tells me something, I have not experienced it yet, but I have trust in that person's words. And so now I want to go and experience it. So this is, very simple example is, somebody says, outside the moon is looking so beautiful and you are sitting inside. So you accept his words, now you want to go out and experience it. खाली उसके बोलने से हमको एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होगा, मुझे उठ के जाना पड़ेगा, पर पहले मुझे उसकी बातों में श्रद्धा होनी पड़ेगी कि भाई whatever he's saying is true. So that's where it stands with Shraddha. What Nikhilanandji said, a very important point, that faith itself is not knowledge. It's not like मुझे faith है तो सब मिल जाएगा. No. That's the first step. That's it. Faith is required to gain knowledge. So खाली faith से कुछ नहीं होने वाला, because before we experience this knowledge, we are ignorant. So in that ignorant state, if somebody is telling you, you have to have faith. So that's where it stands. And then we will proceed on the path. So he's saying that, I don't know if everybody remembers from chapter 4, the most famous lines of Krishna Bhagavan, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Right? What does it mean? That those who have faith, they gain knowledge. Because अगर वो faith ही नहीं होएगा ना, तो knowledge भी नहीं मिलेगी. मगर one of the most important thing is, don't get stuck at the level of faith. Because if we just get stuck, then we will not gain knowledge. Because he was just saying that a lot of people have a lot of faith. Oh, I have faith in Bhagavad Gita. मुझे तो उसके words बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. Whatever Krishna Bhagavan is saying, it's true. But then you don't practice it. फिर problem. I thought he gave a very important point, So
that means it's not blind faith. You're not going on the blind faith, right? The
blind.
You're talking about the faith.
It's not blind faith. It is backed by some intellectual concept. It's like when I started studying Vedanta, I found a lot of science in it.
Yes.
You're right?
Yes.
Like when we go to our Upanishad, you will see that how scientifically they are talking about the elements and all that. So you start getting more and more convinced.
Right.
So that is faith. And then when we do the commentary of Swamiji, he has given some couple of explanation of faith. I don't know if you guys read it.
That is with the faith when you believe in the
please.
Vedanta, and then you believe in your Guru and you believe in those books or Shraddha. You have a faith in the book, not Vedanta. What would you say?
Scriptures.
You have faith in the scriptures and you have faith in your Guru, what he's saying. And
exactly.
That you go with it.
So, when we come to chapter 17, Bhagavan is saying that without faith, nothing happens in this world. Because everybody has faith in something. So people, materialists, they have faith in materialism. Money and all, they have faith in it. And then suppose if I go to college, I don't know the subject, but I have faith that the professors will teach me and I will come out with a degree, right? Or when I sit in the plane, I have faith in that pilot. He's going to take me. He's not going to be drunk or something and crash the plane. So without faith, हम बिस्तर से उठ ही नहीं पाएंगे. Magar then in chapter 17, he's going to talk about different kinds of faith. Sattvic faith, Rajasic faith, Tamasic. So we'll go much in detail. But just this part of our Gita, if we understand this much right now, that without faith, I cannot move forward. Because faith नहीं होगा ना, हम चल ही नहीं पाएंगे आगे. So that's what he's talking about. But then, as he said, don't get stuck at the level of faith. So he was just saying about Bhagavad Gita that if you don't practice it, it's not going to be fruitful for you, because have you experienced it? Not yet. Or no, I have not experienced it, I have great faith. And you get stuck. No, not like that. So very good point. Because he was saying the faith should culminate in knowledge. The final goal is that. And a direct experience. Then only you feel fulfilled. Otherwise it's just incomplete. So then in this particular verse, Krishna Bhagavan is telling you what happens to those people who don't have faith. See, one of the great things about Bhagavad Gita is it's a conversational style. So Krishna Bhagavan जैसे किसी बच्चे को समझाते हैं ना, ये करेगा तो ऐसा होगा, नहीं करेगा तो ये होगा. कॉन्ट्रास्ट बता दिया उसको. तो फिर अगर कॉन्ट्रास्ट नहीं होगा ना तो हम लोग चूज नहीं कर पाते हैं. बिकॉज ये बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन व्हेन वी डोंट नो क्या होगा, then we may not go over there. But अभी देख लिया ना, खड्डे में गिरेंगे, and we might be more inclined to do that. So that's why this third verse is important, because he's telling you that people who don't accept the teaching, or they think it's wrong, it is not true, or it is impossible to do it. Some people might think that way too, right? Or it is false. उनको अश्रद्धा बोला है. And then 4th chapter में एक और verse है जिसमें भगवान ने बोला कि those people who don't have श्रद्धा they perish. Strong words use किए थे. Perish में उनका विनाश हो जाता है, but not from that perspective. विनाश होता है मतलब वो नीचे की तरफ गिर जाते हैं. टाइम लगेगा फिर ऊपर उठने के लिए. पहले श्रद्धा डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी before even you go. So he's saying that, and he was giving one more angle, that when we want to proceed, when something is unknown, that's when you need faith. If it is known to you, nobody has to convince you, right? But the faith comes when you are unknown territory, okay? So if you don't have faith, तो क्या होता है कि बस वो unknown में जाने से इतना डर लगेगा ना कि you will be stuck at the known one only. हे मेरे को ये संसार में I know about this, so इसी में मेरे को बैठने दो. Because आगे पता नहीं क्या आता है. He brought some very important point. So, and then this great teaching in this verse also, Bhagavan called this dharma. This teaching is dharma, means very righteous, And he was just saying that what happens is that if we don't know who we are, that's the time you start doing unrighteous things in the world. Think about it. Like I was just thinking, if somebody believes in the law of karma 100%, that person will not do anything wrong because he knows he's going to come and slap me.
Yeah.
But if you think, koi nahi dekh raha hai, karne do, then you will do it. So he brought that another very good point, that what happens if you don't have shraddha, then you end up doing these wrong things. So he's saying, if I don't know who I am, that's when I behave like a dharmic way. That's why this knowledge is considered very, very dharmic, And he's saying that the person who is establishing this knowledge, that person is embodiment of dharma. That's why they say that जो self-realized लोग होते हैं ना, वो लोग जो बोलते हैं वो शास्त्र बन जाता है. शास्त्र आया कहाँ से? ऐसे ही तो जो people who are self-realized, जैसे कोई download हुआ वो सारा information higher self से. Because you are the right patra now to tell the world, like Buddha, Krishna, all of people, incarnations, Bhagwan ke and other great saints. So that's what it's saying. And then it seems that you know about Ramayana. I don't know the exact verses, but he said that Ramayana में कहा गया है कि the Bharat ji was like a symbol of dharma in there, जैसे धर्म ने जन्म लिया हो. He was that, धर्मराज से ही वो आए थे उनके एसेंस से. तो वो जो भी कुछ वो करते हैं ना, वही धर्म माना जाता है रामायण में, like उनका जो आचरण है, how he behaves, because he was just saying that how the dharmic person is so important, who is established in this knowledge. So he's saying now he talks about क्या क्या होता है कि the person who doesn't have faith, like अश्रद्धा वालों के साथ, वो the word use किया है अप्राप्यम, means they don't realize their own identity. That's how you can, they don't realize the oneness with me, and they don't attain me, or they don't attain the ultimate goal of their life. जैसे कि कोई कॉलेज भेजा बच्चों को ग्रेजुएट करने के लिए, तो वो पार्टी वार्टी करके और एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर करके वापस आ गए. The parents are like, hello, I sent you. So like that, our भगवान is telling me, hello, I sent you to realize me, and तुम लोग अपना ये सब करके वापस आ गए.
What a good example. It is a good example. पार्टी करके एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर भी कर लिया, करके आ गए वापस. So then what happens to those people? They come back in the mrityu sansar. It's like वापस भेजो कॉलेज में, because it's, go back again, and then vartmani is coming back. So this sansar is what is the problem with the sansar? Sansar is full of sorrows. Nobody needs to tell us at our age. Sure.
Pain, body and mental both.
Yeah.
At night time, I have twisting and turning with all kind of pains, and fears and sadness. Fears, all that is a part of it.
Yeah.
So, going back a little bit more philosophically, that Shankaracharya ji called this world a dream. But ड्रीम्स भी एक्सपीरियंस तो करते हैं ना हम. जैसे हम लोग जब उठते हैं, कोई नाइटमेयर आया हो तो जब उठ जाते हैं उसके बाद भी डर लगता है. When we think about it, so we do feel bad about this world. Even कितना भी हमको intellectually मालूम पड़ जाए कि ये but it is full of all. Yeah, go ahead. You have something in mind? Say it.
No, I was just thinking that you don't realize it, but that is exactly how when you get up in the morning and if you've had a bad dream, your mind plays on it, right?
Right, for a while, and usually मेरे साथ भी ऐसे होता है. नाइटमेयर में कुछ ज़्यादा याद रहता है, अच्छे ड्रीम्स में भूल जाता है.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think the point he was trying to say is, it's easy to say, sansar is mithya, sansar is illusion, but the fact is, when we are in it, we feel scared, we feel all these things that we are talking about, we do feel. तो ऐसी जगह पे वापस ही क्यों आना भाई? If there is a way to get out, that's what he was trying to say to Arjuna. किसी को बहुत अच्छा लगता है संसार, तो आते रहो वापस. So even though it is false, we experience it, so we cannot deny it. That's what he was saying. And then he was saying, similarly, this world, he's saying it's an appearance, But if we don't have a proper understanding, proper relationship with it, again, we experience the sorrow of pain, of birth and death and this and that and all. That's the right relationship hona chahiye. Coming back in different forms. We keep coming back in different forms. And like right now we are humans, and hopefully we have not done any bad karmas to become animal again. But the truth is, हमने पिछले जन्म में क्या किया, हमें क्या मालूम? We don't know कि next life क्या होगा. So वो भी एक है कि अभी चांस मिला है ऊपर चढ़ने का, अभी से चढ़ जाओ. Next life में क्या जाएगा? Because what he was saying is, Nikhilanand, the people who don't have faith, वो लोग ये path ही नहीं pursue करेंगे. That we saw. And then they will not experience the oneness and all that of enlightenment, keep coming back to this sansar, and then helplessly get caught up in this situation. And he was calling it like Maya Jal, You just keep getting involved deeper and deeper. And I still remember there was one saint who said, I will never forget this. He said, you have come in this world to rejoice, not to get involved. But we do exactly opposite. हम लोग इतना इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं ना हर एक चीज में, that's what वो जाल में फंस जाते हैं. So, and then he said that as human being, okay, we feel like we don't have much freedom, right? We feel helpless, so many situations happen. He's saying, but at least human beings के पास पुरुषार्थ करने का है, right? That's why this choose कर सकते हैं हम लोग. अगर animal और पेड़ बन गए ना, वो भी चला गया हमारे से. There is no room for purusharth there. It's a programmed life. Like if you are a tree at the roadside, you can walk also. You have to face all the जितने आंधी तूफान जो भी कोई काटे कुछ करे, you can't do anything, you know. So and then even animals they are helpless by their nature. They can't change. So that's why he was saying that why this coming back to sansar is considered negative in that highest goal, if you think about it, you know. So then he said that what point comes when he was talking about that purusharth is that as human beings we have a choice. हमको high intelligence दिया है, choice भी दिया है to choose the true path. That's it. ये नहीं दिया है, too many choices नहीं दिया, कौन तुम्हारे parents होंगे, किससे शादी होगी, कौन बच्चे होंगे, वो सब प्रारब्ध की वजह से, लेकिन choice का दिया है, उसी में वो पुरुषार्थ आता है. Hey, I want to go this route or this route. That much choice is given to humans. So he was just saying that whatever we studied, I don't know if you remember from Kathopanishad, the Shreyas and Preyas, right? Preyas is immediate gratification. With West is very strong on that. तभी ये सारे advertisement वगैरह, you know, अभी खाओ मजा करो, you know. But then that always leads to more problem. But Shreyas is what is right for me. It's possible that Shreyas can be Preyas also. Right?
Right.
It's also, suppose if something is aligning with my vasanas, I'll feel very good doing it. And then it's good. But suppose something is my duty and it's not aligning with my vasana, but it is my duty in this janma, then it becomes like Shreyas. Or even though I'm not going to get that much pleasure, but I keep doing it, in the end the result will be good. So that's what the difference between Shreyas and Preyas is. So he's saying that if we choose the wrong, we're coming back in this sansar chakra. So he's saying that our mind may not have that control of choosing it. But then he gave an example of a TV, okay? We all can identify that. TV में अच्छी भी चीज़ आती है, garbage भी आता है. Garbage की संख्या बढ़ती जा रही है. That's a different thing. So he's saying that वो कौन सा channel आएगा, क्या उसमें देंगे, वो हमारे control में नहीं है. लेकिन अगर remote control आ गया हाथ में, तो कौन सा channel देखना है, वो हम कर सकते हैं. You know, कब बंद करना है, volume बढ़ा सकते हैं, you know, कम कर सकते हैं, or we can shut it off. So that kind of control he's saying that humans have. We don't have control over everything, no. Little bit we have, we can use it for our purpose. That was a good example. So he's saying the one who chooses God attains God, and one who chooses world attains world. It's very simple math. Whatever you choose, that's where you will put the effort. You know. So in nutshell, one who chooses the knowledge becomes free of sansar. Okay, and then when we go to Swamiji's commentary, he's going to tell you what that death means is actually world of change. You know, constantly dying, changing, flux, you know, all that. So we have to get in the broader sense, the death, not just the physical death. You know, sansar is a world of change. So then you keep connecting to that world of change. That's another way of looking at it. So he called this sansar ashubhat. शुभ नहीं है, and क्यों बोला अशुभात? Because of all the not being permanent and constantly changing and things like that, you know, that's why. And then all the negative things are with it, pain and sorrow and this and that. So he's saying that now after creating this great enthusiasm and desire in Arjuna to now know this, इतना सब बोलने के बाद, okay, now I really want to get this. अगर ऐसे ही दे दिया ना सिल्वर प्लेटर पे, उसकी वैल्यू ही नहीं होती किसी को. सो उसको थोड़ा ऐसा डरा के समझा के सब करके उसको ये 2 वर्स में उन्होंने बताया. एंड द नेक्स्ट 2 वर्सेस आर गोना बी द मोस्ट amazing, difficult, and we have to learn to comprehend it because very important verses. In fact, Nikhilanand called it the backbone of this, you know, chapter 9.
Miss.
Oh, you are going to miss because you're not coming?
On the 4th one, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 4 and 5.
4, yeah, I'll be on a slide then, so I can't.
But I'm going to record it, so you
Okay.
Yeah, that's the good part. That
Yeah.
I know, but you know,
Yeah.
And you know, like if you have, after hearing, if you have any questions and all, you can bring it to the next, because you know the concept, the next two verses, it took us also a while to absorb it. But once you do, you have a good grasp of what they're trying to say. Because Bhagwan is saying two opposite things. First he says this and then he says exactly opposite. So how can that be? But you know, like somebody said that वेदांत में ऐसा होता है कि जब दो ऑपोजिट चीजें साथ में पकड़ में आती है ना, उसको वेदांत कहते हैं. Okay? It's like if I put a stone here and I say, is this moving or non-moving? What will we say? Most of us will say it's non-moving, right? But if a scientist को बुला के पूछो, is it moving? He's saying every atom is moving in there. See that what I'm saying? So है हो गया कि नहीं दोनों, moving and unmoving? कौन से एंगल से देख रहे हो तुम? So ऐसा कुछ आएगा. Because Bhagwan will say, I'm in everybody, nobody's in me. Okay. So, any question about the excitement of this knowledge from Bhagwan? And question, comment, anyone want to add anything?
I want to learn more. Yeah.
I think that I like these later chapters have a lot of depth in them. You know? Okay, you want to do the honor of reading? You came after a long time.
Persons without faith in this dharma, the divine self, or Parantapa, without attaining me, return to the path of rebirth fraught with death. Those who are not following a life of accommodation and adjustment to the eternal values of the self, they necessarily return without attaining me. Men of extrovertedness, meditating upon the sense objects and bartering away their intellectual capacities, emotional powers, and physical strength for seeking, acquiring, and possessing the implements to work with their sensual satisfaction, they must necessarily return to the path of rebirth fraught with death.
So then, you know, bartering away means Bhagwan ने तुमको ये तीन equipments दिए हैं, mind, body, intellect, and you're using that just for the worldly things and not anything higher. You know, जैसे कि you are given some tool which can do big things, and you just do small things with it and they put it away. ऐसे हो गया ना? Capable of doing something higher.
But unless you get the knowledge or somebody tells you, because I mean, our life before certain age was like that.
But you know, we think that age has maybe something to do it, but there are a lot of younger people who get attracted to this.
But do you think that's the prarabdha, that they are getting it from the previous life, and therefore a part of it may be that. Part of it in the circumstances they brought out, like their parents are doing it. And
Yes, but
so
then the question is, why were they born in that family?
because of
God
what
made it
the
sure.
vasanas and whatever.
So that's a
it
little
is.
bit, you are right. But I think that the way I look at it for myself, thank God I know this. What if I didn't?
Sure, I mean,
Right? I would be
of course
so
we're
much more
grateful
miserable.
always. Yeah.
If we are, misery to sabhi ke paas aayegi. Magar at least we have some tools to handle this misery
And
now.
some circumstances happen to you where you start this learning, where you start, okay, why am I here? The question arises, and all this. Why is this all there? When the whys come along, that's when you start inquiring in
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, that's how I feel.
No, true. And sometimes that why comes when every other door shuts down on you.
Yes.
Like it happened with Arjuna.
Yes.
Or, some big problem comes in your life and you have tried every worldly thing to solve it and nothing is giving you, and then you say, please God, I want to know,
Then the prayer comes
One
along,
time, once
doesn't
that
it?
thought came to mind, God cannot send us to be miserable in this world, right?
So,
It's like your child you are sending, you don't want that child to be miserable, but if they don't learn, then they are going to be miserable, right? So then the answer is that, hey, what is it then? Why has God sent me here? Any kind of question. Who am I? Why has God sent me here? What is this world? कहीं से भी शुरू हो सकता है. Like I have heard people say that, I had this question in my mind and I couldn't get answer anywhere. I mean, I'm not trying to put down any other religion, nothing, but sometimes those white people who connect to Vedanta, they tell us that I went to my padri, I went to my church, I couldn't answer it. But then I read Bhagavad Gita and I felt so good. my questions were answered.
It just happens, you open the page.
Yeah.
What you're looking for, and it's right there. Or somebody said something and just strikes you. Okay, this is what I was looking for.
So I think the first thing is inquiring that, about a question. A good, solid philosophical question will lead you. Yeah.
The more an individual meditates upon the finite, strives to gain the changeable, and gets choked by the sorrows of the perishable, the more he comes to worship and court the lower nature of the self, the Prakriti. However big the ocean may be, a drop of it, taken at any point in its finite expanse, should taste saline. In the same way, whatever be the method of worship, whatever be the motive behind the courtings, once we allow ourselves to be courtiers of the world of objects, we are doomed to taste the saline tears of sorrow because of the very ephemeral nature of the objects of our love.
So I think that the big other words that Krishna Bhagavan has used for the word dukkhalaya or shashvatam, means impermanent, and it is a house of pain, or ashubha, jo bhi bola hai, because some people might say, what do you mean there is no joy in the world? Of course there is joy. You eat good food and you feel joy,
It's
but
temporary.
After a while, that good food also, when your health is not good, is not going to be good for you.
Right.
किसी भी एंगल से देख लो, तो that's what he gave a very good example कि ओशन में वो खारा पानी हमेशा खारा ही रहेगा, यहाँ से ले लो, वहाँ से ले लो, बीच में से ले लो, अंदर से ले लो. So अगर वो, if you're going to connect to the world only, it's going to end up in sorrow. कि honeymoon phase is over.
Oh, that's what it's a constant change.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you're going to face that. It's not going to be, what do you want? Happiness all the time. That's not, the world is not going to give you that.
No, it's not going to give you. It's going to be always temporary, and it's always
Okay.
end up in sorrow. कितना भी कुछ हो, आएगा ही.
The world of names and forms is finite and ever changing. At every moment, every object is living through a process of change, and each change is a death to its previous existence. Very nice. Thus, the term death, used here by Krishna in his phrase, fraught with death, is to be understood in this liberal meaning of the term. In short, courtiers of the finite reach the tragic realms of constant death.
तो ये जो बोला ना मृत्यु संसार, क्यों बोला मृत्यु संसार? खाली बॉडी की डेथ के लिए नहीं बोला है, वो वाले चक्कर के नहीं, पूरा संसार में ही वो मृत्यु चक्कर है. बिकॉज एक कोई फ्रूट होता है, उसका सीड, वो फ्रूट खत्म हो जाता है, फिर वो सीड डालो, फिर वापस आता है. इट्स लाइक अ कांस्टेंट. समथिंग डाइज, समथिंग इज बॉर्न, समथिंग डाइज, समथिंग इज बॉर्न. कांस्टेंट. That's why. So what Swamiji calls it, the world of change is the world of death. So, if you're going to court the world of change, then you're going to be miserable, because not going to keep changing. कोई चीज़ से ज़रा सा लगा हुआ वो 2 मिनट में change हो गई. 2 मिनट में या 2 साल में या 20 साल में कभी भी. Time can be longer, but it will change.
All those persons who miss their way and reach to walk the path of darkness ultimately come to suffer the sorrows of the finitude, and how they fall into this mistake in their valuations are all fully indicated in the first line. Persons without Shraddha for this dharma are sure to miss their way on the great pilgrimage of life. In this stanza, the crude meaning of the term Shraddha as blind faith should not be read. In our days, almost in all religions, The priest class encourages this cheap emotionalism totally divorced from intellect and converts an entire society to become blind fanatics, neither helping the faithful to grow spiritually nor bringing into the community anything but hatred and jealousy, rivalries and disturbances.
तो ये जितने भी लोग ये करते हैं ना, हेटरेड, जेलसी, राइवलरी और डिस्टर्बेंस, ब्लाइंड फेथ की वजह से। कि भाई किसी ने बोला ऐसा करोगे तो तुमको स्वर्ग मिल जाएगा, ये वो, चाहे नर्क के कुएं में गिरेंगे जाके, मगर ब्लाइंड फेथ नहीं जाना चाहिए। यू शुड फर्स्ट बिलीव इन इट, थिंक अबाउट इट, इट्स नॉट, ब्लाइंड फेथ इज नॉट द थिंग। पीपल कैन यूज गलेबल पीपल, थोड़ा अपना इंटेलेक्ट यूज करो, भगवान बोल रहे हैं। यू हैव टू लुक एट इट दैट वे। नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में ज़्यादा अच्छे से बताएंगे।
अच्छा, in the perfect science of Vedanta, Shraddha, though it also implies faith in the Tagorean sense of the term, it is not built upon the misty vapors of emotionalism, but upon the solid beams of intellectual understanding and perfect awareness of the logic of thought behind the theory. Shankaracharya defines Shraddha as the molding of the life and living on the basis of right intellectual comprehension of what the scripture indicates and the teachers explain. It is the enduring faith that lifts us to the realms beyond the reach of the mind and intellect and helps to carve out of the mortal the immortal and the infinite.
So now we know that what actually Shraddha means. It is not just some kind of emotionalism he's talking about, but it's an intellectual understanding. That when you start reading the Shastra, the more you read, the more, oh, now I understand. Now, it gets deeper and deeper. And now, once you start believing in it, nobody can shake your thing. Somebody comes and says, no, I'm not going to listen to you because now I know. So it's just, that's what it means. उसमें अपना दिमाग लगा के करो. And then that definition that Shankara says, the Shraddha is the molding of the life. It means you're trying to change your life on the basis of right comprehension. I am understanding the Shastra, what my teachers are saying. And then this is a very poetic way of saying our Tagore. Read that part.
I was just looking at that. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. How beautiful.
That means the bird को मालूम है सूरज तो निकलने ही वाला है. इतना फेर है. The bird starts singing. यहाँ से इंडिया में तो बहुत सारे हैं. Birds.
Yeah.
It's still dark, but they're chirping.
And that वो जो विवेक चूड़ामणि का ये संस्कृत में लिखा है, उसका translation already उन्होंने दे दिया ऊपर.
Achha.
That intellectual comprehension and all that of scriptures and teacher and trying to change your life according to his faith. This is beautiful.
Should I carry on?
Yeah. Unless somebody has any question about faith. Everybody understood, right? About Shraddha?
Okay. Those who have not this healthy understanding and approach to truth cannot expect to evolve spiritually or benefit themselves by religion more than, perhaps, acquiring a superficial discipline in their outer behavior in the world of things and beings. The term dharma has been already described as the law of being, refer general introduction, Gita 1 and 2. Oh, I was reading the footnote here. Okay. The term dharma has been already described. In the textbooks of Vedanta, the main preoccupation of the rishis is to supply enough arguments and intelligent illustrations to prove to their students that beyond their present conception of themselves as mere bodies and bundles of thoughts and feelings, they are, in essence, the pure awareness without which none of their different layers of personalities can ever come to exist or consistently function, or provide for them a harmonious experience of the whole.
So, what he's trying to say over here is that the essence is called the dharma, and we saw that कोई भी चीज का जो जिसके बिना वो चीज ही नहीं रह जाएगी, उसको बोलते हैं धर्मा ऑफ दैट थिंग. एंड द बेस्ट एग्जांपल है शुगर का धर्म क्या होगा? स्वीटनेस. अगर कोई तुमको ला के बोले ये टेस्ट करो और ये इसको शुगर बोलते हैं और वो खारा टेस्ट करके बोलते हैं दिस इज नॉट शुगर, राइट? और द सेम वे विद सॉल्ट. सो और जो हमारा ह्यूमन बींग्स हैं या लिविंग बींग्स, जब तक कॉन्शियसनेस इज द एसेंस, सो दैट्स द धर्मा of each one, that connecting to that consciousness, that's the highest dharma. So this dharma का definition is, और वो संस्कृत का जो word है ना, वो होता है धारयेते इति, धारण करना. हिंदी में सुना है धारण करना किसी चीज को, uphold something, उसको धर्म बोला गया. तो हमारे हिंदुइज्म में बोलते हैं कि उसके हिंदुइज्म के 4 स्तंभ हैं. I don't remember exact one, but अहिंसा, सत्य, ये सब ऐसे करके है 4, because that's what holds that Hinduism. So आधार उसका क्या है, उसको बोलते धर्म. तो तुम आधार की तरफ जाओ. That's what it says.
That without which a substance cannot be a substance is called its dharma or essence. For example, heat in fire, cold in ice. Those who have no faith in the divine essence, which is the self in them, are those who get easily abducted by the cooing of their emotions, or the barkings of their intellect, or the whisperings of their flesh. They slip into devolution and come to live the life of biped animals, when they once lose their faith in the divine core, which is the essential being. A mad king who has forgotten his own kingship throws his kingly dignity to the winds and runs about naked on the streets, behaving as though he were one of the homeless vagabonds. Similarly, when an individual, in his own self-forgetfulness to the dignity of his essential selfhood, comes to live in the open streets of sense pleasures, hunting for his satisfactions, as though he were nothing better than the crawling worms in the wayside ditches.
He's very strong in his words.
Yeah, but very powerful explanation.
Yeah. And the example that he gave, that you are a king and you threw away your robe and now you are going up to the garbage or something.
Yeah.
And then the 2 other example of the dharma, he said heat and the fire, cold and ice.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, here is ice but doesn't feel cold, you say, this is not ice.
Yeah.
Right? So he's just telling you that we should be going to our basic dharma of, what is consciousness, and connect to it, and then all the problems will get solved.
Okay. Simple looking though it be, this stanza is very pregnant in its untold suggestiveness. By contrasting thus the path of knowledge with the path of ignorance in the most vivid terms, Krishna brings to the comprehension of Arjuna the advisability of the blessed path of higher seeking, the realization of the imperishable.
So he's telling you the 2 contrasts. I think contrast is a very good place where we will get motivated to go. Agar nobody shows us the other side, we may not be that much motivated, right? Because इससे ये मिलेगा, ये तो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन अगर ये नहीं किया तो क्या होगा, वो भी सोचना चाहिए. Yeah. And that connecting sentence, you have it?
In the following, the knowledge is therefore glorified when Krishna explains that dharma, which is to be followed, is...
So means what actually is that dharma, or what actually is that consciousness? Uska explanation abhi next 2 verses mein aayega.
All this world is pervaded by me in my unmanifested form, aspect. All beings exist in me, but I do not dwell in them.
So aise bola na, all beings exist in me and I don't dwell in them. Now go to the next one. Just I'm trying to show you what he's saying.
Okay. nor do beings exist in reality in me.
See, हो गया ना, opposite हो गया कि नहीं?
Behold my divine yoga, supporting all beings, but not dwelling in them, is me myself, the efficient cause of all beings. Wow.
So yeah, it's like get ready for some.
I know.
Put your thinking hats on, like if we tell the children when you come next time.
Yeah.
And imagine trying to teach this to the 15, 16-year-old. But Swamiji gives the most amazing examples that really helps to grasp it, what it is. You know. And then those two words, eminent and transcendental, that we talked about, that's where this also comes. All that will get more and more clear. Yeah. So, any question, comment? Anybody want to add anything about this?
All I want to add, a comment I want to make is that many, many years ago when I tried to read the Gita by myself and I don't know Sanskrit, so I was reading the translation. I didn't get anything out of it. I don't think I understood at all
Because
anything.
so much depth is there, is the essence of Vedant, imagine.
Yeah.
Vedant is also not that easy to handle. And it's the essence of सारे Upanishad का लेके निचोड़ डाल के डाल दिया. So that's why you need, like, if Chinmayanand ji was not, if I didn't go to Chinmaya Mission, I would, like, you know how it is. And it takes so much time, questioning, thinking, and in the beginning you still doubt. ऐसे भी हो सकता है, you know. But then you somehow kind of keep at it, then you start sinking in. No, some people will sink in faster, obviously.
Yeah, they must have
Yeah.
done it in their previous lives. But
Hey, but if somebody's come this far, I would say that we should pack.
My experience was very similar. I read the Gita and I said, okay, this is Greek. I have to now do something about this.
like just now I went ahead and because you said read the next one also and I'm like, what is this? So number one, Chinmayanandji explanation helps, and then the way you explain it, you know,
I think it will
that is making
I
a
think
big
that to
difference.
me, because Darshana Ben, you know, we used to have a lot of meetings with her how to deliver this to children, and once delivering to children is even a lot harder. Firstly, they will tune you out. If you start talking some hi-fi Vedanta, they will tune you out. And they will argue also, right? So you have to have all kind of answers ready and make them think. And then at the end, they have to say, yeah, auntie, this is right. Then you get the satisfaction. Because अपने माँ बाप की तो वो लोग नहीं सुनेंगे. मगर, you know, so that's where I think once you can teach the children, adults is easier. That's how I feel. You know, you have all the tools. Okay. Any other question, comment, or should I close Bhagavad Gita? आप बड़े चुप बैठे हैं.
I was just thinking that one of the main things here is to understand what is this divine self.
Divine self, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When it says it's the dharma.
That's what next two verses में बताएंगे हमको क्या है वो divine self. That's one of the explanations. उन्होंने काफी बता दिया है और अभी हमारे तैत्तिरीय में तो आ ही गया है सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म, right? So or Satchitanand, or you can say Satyam Shivam Sundam, so many different ways. But he is going to make, I think Krishna Bhagavan makes Arjuna think, and through Arjuna all of us, that who really God is. You know, because we have kind of strange ideas about God sometimes, if you don't learn it properly. And the most easy one is, why did God do this? If God is so kind, why there are so many bad things in the world? You know, you hear all that, and on the surface it sounds, oh, God could have stopped the war. Why did he not do it? कभी गांधारी ने श्राप भी दे दिया गुस्से में आके कि you should have stopped. Why you did that? Then she realized her mistake, you know. So you're right that the whole idea is who is that.
But God would never give us something that, you know, somebody once told me that if, as a parent, you would never wish anything negative for your child.
True.
And so God would never wish anything negative for any of us, any Jeev in the world. So obviously we have done whatever we have done to get whatever appropriate conditions that we live in, or what, I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, but
Yeah, I can hear you completely, because earlier I used to think that, okay, whatever about जो भी कि भाई I'm trying to do this, but I'm not getting the required support and etc. So maybe वो दूसरे की गलती है कि वो समझता नहीं है. Now I'm like, no, these are my conditions. That this is my karma. I have to find a way despite the conditions that I have.
Exactly.
वो किसी और का कुछ नहीं. It is, they don't know what my this thing is. वो तो अपना जैसा उनको ठीक लगता है वो अपना ठीक कर रहे हैं जो उनको करना है.
Exactly.
हम अपने को अब देख रहे हैं कि हमको क्या करना है, और वो कंडीशंस कहीं ना कहीं हमारे कर्मों ने हमारे लिए क्रिएट करी है कि यू हैव टू मीट दोस चैलेंजेस एंड देन मूव फॉरवर्ड. डोंट एक्सपेक्ट दैट द वर्ल्ड इज गोइंग टू क्लियर द वे फॉर यू, झाड़ू लेके सब साफ करेंगे बिकॉज यू हैव डिसाइडेड कि हमको आगे चलना है. आओ जी आओ, आप आओ, आपके लिए हम रास्ता साफ कर रहे हैं. So it was,
अगर वो भी होता है तो वो भी आपके कर्म है.
हाँ वो आपके हाँ
पर
राइट.
उसमें ग्रोथ कम होती है ना, उसमें you become suddenly like lazy. जितने भी बड़े बड़े सिविलाइजेशन है उनका डाउनफॉल ऐसे ही हुआ.
Yes.
पहले एकदम ऊपर पहुंचे फिर सब लेजी हो गए. शराब पी रहे, ये कर रहे, अभी तो पैसा वैसा सब कुछ है. And then start downfalling. Then when fell down, then came up again. And that example you gave about the child, if the child is not listening and doing something dangerous, तो पहले थोड़ा धीरे से बोलो, प्यार से बोलो, फिर डांट के बोलो, फिर एक थप्पड़ भी लगा. यहाँ पर तो क्या जेल में डाल देंगे, पर थप्पड़ मारा तो, मगर इंडिया में तो थप्पड़ भी खाए. So there is, हमारी टीचर बोलती थी कि जो भगवान के वो चतुर्भुज रूप होता है ना ऐसे, तो एक होता है कि ऐसे एक हाथ ऐसे होता है, फिर गदा होती है, शंख होता है. तो पहले भगवान बोले आओ मेरे पास, ऐसे हाथ करके, सुना नहीं, तो फिर शंख बजाया, थोड़ा शंख हाथ में है, फिर नहीं तो एक गदा से मारा. Level of difficulty when you don't listen. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah,
and the last one is chakra. उसकी नौबत नहीं है तो ठीक है.
I know. गर्दन कट जाएगी.
तो सुन लो पहले.
I thought the one hand was for blessing.
but it is, like
Always
again, it's like all of this is
No, this is just a joking way of saying, because people they analyze कि क्या है, but I thought this was really great.
You gave me a different expression altogether.
So आप सोच रहे हैं, बहुत विचार कर रहे हैं.
Divine self, when we talk about divine self, what else? I'm just wondering, here saying divine self as Brahma, or is it the divine self yourself?
The same.
No, it's not.
Essence is the
Yes.
same, no?
No. When it says persons without faith in this dharma, the divine self, are we saying the divine self as Brahma?
Oh, as Brahman?
Yeah. Or is it yours?
Do we have the same? Do I have the same book?
So that, yeah, you can take it
Aapki aur
either
meri book
way.
ek hi hai?
You will come
हाँ.
to the same conclusion. So it depends on
Okay,
your
thank
own, what you want to take. It's okay to take either way. That's what I'm trying to say. That because when we go to Taittiriya, he's going to say that Brahman, which is your Atman. Right?
So that's
so,
within.
and then Swamiji explains that it's like a space, you can't cut the space. You can utilize it like this room space, but I've really not cut the space because the walls are standing in space also. It's accommodating even the walls. So it's a little, so I think to me, you can take it either way, you will come to the same conclusion. It doesn't matter whether you take it your own essence or the Brahman. Once you will understand the next two verses, then you realize it's the same.
I mean, this to me it's much easier if we think of it as Brahman
Yeah.
instead of your
Yeah.
divine self, which might come at a later stage, but normally it would be easier when you say dharma is like
Brahman.
Brahman, or Mr. Krishna is talking about as a Brahman.
That's fine, you can take it. And some Swamis might say that there is a little danger when we keep thinking Brahman is somewhere there. Hey, you have to constantly remind it's all pervading is within me also. I'm talking about my own divine nature. And that's why he gave that example that you have that divine essence, but you are behaving like you don't have it. That it's just the mind, it's just this thing, you're just living on a surface level, kind of. So slowly you have to feel that oneness. That's how I would say it. Okay, let's close this. What's the time? Yeah. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम.